Tubaniriza nnyo ku YouTube channel yange eno eya Baby Nails, naye nga mu bufumbo eno kikyali kikamuko anti tuba tuva mu bwakyambe mu bwobwambe abagamba nti bannange tuba tuva mu byambe ate kati nga tudda ku mwana eyafudde. Amawulire ndowooza mubadde mugalaba nga gatambula oba omukyala ono abadde gwe bataddeko omusango gw'okubeera ng'atta omwana. Bannange ebintu byo bizibu. Obufumbo nze ndi advocate wa bufumbo, mbwagala nnyo era mbazzamu ebintu bibaawo obuzibu mu bufumbo gye buli naye tekitegeeza nti tewali bintu birungi bibeera mu bufumbo. Ebintu ebifumbo mu bulungi gye biri naye era njagala obbazzaamu amaanyi mbu temutya kubeera nga mujoyininga obufumbo olw'okuba nga bino bye muli mu kulaba. Wano ku social media ebiseera ebisinga balaga nnyo ebintu ebibi. Kati ebintu ebitiisa ng'ebyo bitusinga nnyo okulaba ate ebirungi ne biba nga biri bitono. Kati nga ffe munnange abeewaddeyo okuba nga tubazzaamu amaanyi mu by'obufumbo era mba nkomawo ne mbagamba munnange temweraliikirira obufumbo temubutya obufumbo bulungi, n'olwekyo mugende maaso nga mupasuubinga obufumbo. Musabe Mukama abawe partners abalungi era be munaategeera okulaba nga kino ekintu mukitambuza bulungi kubanga Mukama yakitandikawo era akyagala. Kaakati mugaliwo omukyala yalabikiddwako ng'agenda mu kkooti okubeera ng'awa endowooza ye ku nfa y'omwana ono, naye era nga social media nga bw'ogimanyi bloggers abamu era bagenze nga bavaayo nga bawa ku kye balowooza oba kye bawulidde ku nfa y'omwana ono. Era nga bulijjo ngenda kubeera nga mbalekera videos wano wansi okulaba oba n'okuwuliriza ekigenda mu maaso ku musango ogwo kuva mu mawulire n'okuva mu bloggers ab'enjawulo okubeera nga olaba n'otegeera ekitambula ku musango gw'omwana ono eyafudde. Era kitegeerekese mbu yaziikibwa naye ng'omusango of course teguvangayo mu kkooti era gukyagenda mu maaso okulaba nga tutegeera kiki ekyakozinze enfa y'omwana. So mubeere nga mubuuzako bino mulabe ekyaguddewo. Mbasaba mubeere nga musubscribinga nga mulikinga era nga muleka comment wano mulowooza kiki ekireese ennyankayana nnyo ate zino okutuuka wano like mu maka. Naye God, may God uphold thee, dear Uganda.
At 3 p.m., Joline Kenoire and her maid Robin Anabanja made their way to the Nakawa Magistrates courtroom after spending over 5 hours in the court cells. Before court commenced, Kenoire had this to say to the media before she was ushered into the dock.
You have to know, you people, I'm innocent. Even God knows that I'm innocent. I can't murder my baby.
I didn't murder my baby. I told you this court has no jurisdiction. All I need is for you to know the nature of the charges.
Her maid Robin Anabanja was charged with being an accomplice in the murder of the 2.5-year-old who died on the 2nd of April 2025.
Hi guys, so mbaletedde emboozi eya mwana muwala Jacqueline Mutesi. Emboozi eyo ebadde ekutte wansi ne waggulu. Emboozi eyo abatanaba kugifollowinga waliwo omukyala agambibwa mbu nno yatemula omwana we ow'emyaka 2 n'ekitundu after being in a bitter split with the husband. So twawuliddeko side ey'omusajja nga ayogera biki and as we speak right now that lady is behind bars because allegedly she's being suspected for murdering her son. Now, I had a chance to listen to her side of the story. In this lady's side of the story, she says she was with this man. They were together and they nebazala omwanum. After having one baby, the guy tells her he does not want any more children, so she should go and do a hysterectomy. Hysterectomy means like removing your womb permanently as a woman. In her story, she says naagaana okujja mu nnabaana. Disagreement says never separating. In her story, they separated for 7 years. They are not together. Omukyala nga akola bibye n'omusajja nga akola bibye. In that period of 7 years, yazaalayo abaana balala 2. Nga si ba musajja, but like because bali already ba separating. So the guy links up with her again after 7 years and begs her to get back with him. In her narrative, she says she gave him conditions. Part of the conditions were to legalize their marriage. Never legalizinga obufumbo bwabwe. Now, during that marriage, the guy still asks her to go and have a hysterectomy again because I mean already as a davana bayagala. The woman said she did not have a problem with that because already yali amaze okuzala abaana bayagala. On their trip to Turkey to have a hysterectomy, bamalo tukayo, of course, bakoze all tests. The doctor tells them the woman is 2 months pregnant. The man asks her to abort and have the uterus removed. She refuses. When she refused, that is where their disagreement started from. And agamba ntino mu bufumbo bwabwe babaddemu with an issue of infidelity from the guy's side. Of course, different girls, but one constant one was by the names of Jacqueline Kalema. Jacqueline Kalema is a sister to Hannah Kalema, our former Miss Uganda. And in one of the messages that really had them go at each other, she found messages in the guy's phone. Guy yali ajimutere ku charger na asanga nga the guy was talking to Jackie nga amugamba, I'm gonna divorce this and then we get married. So they have a fight, of course, like oba mchalo banamkasikira charger or something. Our guy blew everything out of proportion and told abana be mama wamwe ayagala kunzita bichi. But the guy really wanted to separate with this woman and marry Jacqueline Kalema. And he asks her for a divorce and she refuses. So the guy goes and files for a divorce on grounds that the woman had children that did not belong to him, as in on grounds of infidelity. But the woman insists this man knew that these 2 children were not his since she had them when they had split. The guy insists inti omukazi abadde mwenzi bichi. Now, but like I told you, the guy already knew these kids were not his kubanga bali mbaya okana ne bakomawo already ngo omuchala azadde abaana babiri. Era that is what happened that ended their marriage. Now, about the child that actually died, the lady says she was coming from upstairs, from the bedroom side. Mama mbozi zabagaga upstairs. Na she did not know that this baby was actually following her. And baby nagwa kumadala. Baby we yagwa kumadala. Of course, like any mom, namstula, namsidisa, sorry, bichi, baby, don't worry, bichi, you know, and put the kid to sleep. A few days after, the baby, I think like a week after, the baby like nafnamulu suja ngwa mzade nagambo basenyiga, you know, suja amwade panado takakanye akuta omwana amutute mu ddwaliro. Amalo kwata omwana omutwala mu ddwaliro, you know, bamrushing deko wano na wano, and the doctor says, I am sorry, your son is gone. Now, the autopsy indicates the child had internal bleeding. Actually, the cause of death was internal bleeding for those. So, for those of you that don't understand how an internal bleed can cause death, internal bleeding could cut off our blood circulation to the vital organs. Yeah, all of us know that the purpose of blood is to transport oxygen and other nutrients, you know, to the vital parts to the vital organs of the body. So this baby had an internal bleed and there was subsequent oxygen cutoff. So the lungs lacked oxygen. At least that is what the police says, that the baby died due to lack of oxygen. And also there was some internal bleeding in the autopsy that was carried out. So that is her story. She says apparently the guy is using power and privilege to blackmail her, to have his way since she refused to give him a divorce. And yeah, if you ask me, I buy her story, because what would be the intent to kill?
Nganwa was buried last Sunday. Preliminary investigations by police indicated that the child had no injuries against the claims of falling from the first floor. We today found police crime scene managers leaving the home of Rugari in Mutungo, where his wife Joline and the maid were taken to reconstruct what happened on the fateful night. This is the storied house that the family has been staying in.
Joline told us that when they had their firstborn son, when he turned 4 months old, Rugari came and told Joline that he wasn't interested in having more children and requested that she removes her uterus.
How can someone who wants you to remove a uterus go ahead and have children with you, support you during the pregnancy, you produce, he is available in hospital, he takes them to school, he looks after them, all the 5 children, as though they were his own children. He is the next of kin on all their medical documents, on all their legal documents.
But as a conveyor of the information, do you believe this could be a true story? Do you believe in your heart that this is a true story?
Yes.
That a woman can tell a husband that I'm going to have children outside because you're not giving me children, and the husband is okay with it?
Yes, it is true, because I had my doubts. So I went to Joline's aunt, who happens to be a young sister to her late mother, who has been a mother figure in her life. This is a woman who has been visiting them.
Did Joline tell you that Chris had in fact wanted to, they wanted to do a DNA on all the children this last week?
That I got from the lawyer. The lawyer said because Joline had been complaining that Chris abandoned them, so they wanted to do DNA. It
is during that moment when they had scheduled an appointment for a paternity test in the afternoon of 2nd of April 2025 that he discovered he had in the morning painfully that one of the children had passed away under very unclear circumstances.
But Chris, in other words, Chris didn't file for divorce that necessitated to carry out a DNA on the children to confirm that actually he had children who were not his as a basis of his evidence of adultery in the marriage.
Joline filed for divorce, not Chris.